I am getting ready. I have about 10-15 minutes. All right, I'm taking my Le Beige primer. Icy beige. Yeah, I want to be glowy today, so let's do that. So this is a great primer that came out earlier this year. Part of like Le Beige, like cool winter, icy winter collection. Oh, I don't want to put that on my nose because it usually gets a little oily. I did have eye patches on earlier for any puffiness. I was really feeling puffy this morning. So I'm grabbing my Chanel EAU, which is like a gel. It's a gel cream, but I already put some Sisley down and then the eye patches to push in the product more. But I just use this as a gel, as a under eye primer to help kind of the products along. All right, I have my Chanel Ultra Tenue, and this is some serum from Caudalie. It's Radiant, and I like to mix these together because this is a very, very matte, long-wearing foundation. And so what I did is put a little drop of that serum on there, and I mix it together. It's still full wear matte, but then add just like the slightest glow and radiance, so it's not super matte. And then I just mix that in, and then I go ahead and just put that on. Putting this on with a Real Techniques synthetic brush. I got this at Ulta. I love this foundation brush. You don't have to spend a lot for brushes to have really good brushes. And for foundation, I actually prefer synthetic just because they're easier to clean and I can get a lot of them and then wash them all at once, because I don't really like to repeat the same brush more than once because of it being dirty and acne. This is like the best foundation for me. It's just like the easiest one. It never lets me down. So beautiful. And wherever I have redness, I just go in and spot conceal. Where I have redness, I don't swipe it so much. I just pat it in gently because this is where I have texture, rosacea, eczema. My cheeks are my sensitive challenge area. So just really going in delicately. And I try not to put too much foundation on my nose because that's where you can see most of my pores. So the more I put on here, the more it starts to well. Okay, that looks good as a base. I'm just putting some under eye corrector. This is the OULAC Cosmetics medium deep, and it's just like a peach. It just corrects. And I think it's a beautiful collection, going back to SUQQU. Yeah, and then I have Addiction Tokyo on order. They also released their holiday collection, and I picked up just one palette and I think a lip serum because I haven't tried their lip serum. But they're not similar. The formulas, they're different. Even though they're Japanese beauty, Addiction is easier to get because they now have US stores where SUQQU is not. And you have to meet a minimum order to get free delivery through Selfridges. Okay, grabbing my Westman Atelier concealer. You can see how much I've been enjoying it. I love that you can see how much is in the well still. I do wish it was just a little bit longer because I feel like the weightiness is nice, the heaviness. Luxe packaging, as a lot of you know, but it's just, I often find it hard to find in my stuff because it's so squat and short. But that's just like me being nitpicky. I mean, it's all about the product, really. So the best way I like to use this is M4. I like to put it on my hand to warm it up, and then I like to push the product into my brush. Does it take up more product in the end? Yes. But this is what I found to be the best application of this beautiful concealer, which is, this has never happened to me, of a concealer that actually through the day, it actually looks so much even nicer than even the application. It maybe has to do with the formula. It's more natural. My oils come through. So usually if my oils come through on a product, like on my face, it just ends up being like a hot mess. No, like throughout wear of this product, it just wears really beautifully. And that's all we need. It's like a medium full coverage. It doesn't beat out my Pat McGrath, but what I love about it is that it's super natural. Whereas Pat McGrath, sometimes I can see like it being too full coverage that it does look unnatural, if that makes any sense. I love this concealer. I wasn't sure at first, but then I figured out how to use it. So sometimes I put it on like this, but it's not as seamless as a application as just doing what I did, which is, I've seen some makeup artists do that. It just warms up the product. You push the product into the brush and it just ends up being a beautiful application. Okay, so that was a Pat McGrath yellow under eye powder and a SURRAT brush. This is their squirrel hair brush, which I use to set the makeup, curling my eyelashes with Refer. I usually clean my lash curler after every use, and I can see that it's dirty from yesterday, and kind of my OCD part of my brain is like, ooh, that's just how my brain works. But that's that. Okay, so just curling, it's my favorite eyelash curler. This one here. This is SURRAT. Grabbing Hourglass eye primer really quick. I warm it up on my hand again, and that also prevents me from putting too much on my eyelid, because the thing about primer on your eyelid, or at least in mine, I don't want to put too much, then it gets cakey, and that's the last thing I want to do. So I just kind of squeeze out any residual. I just basically put like the thinnest layer of the eye primer there, and it works. So you just want to work in thin layers as much as possible. Okay, because I want a full kind of glam look, and I'm going into it. I'm grabbing my Givenchy, the original powder before they reformulated it. This is the loose powder by Givenchy, and it's this color Acidule. It's a smidge too light, but I just try not to put too much. It's an expensive powder, so I'm not going to buy another one. I'm going to work with what I have. And because of my oils, it does bring it down a notch, even though it's like slightly too light. But I also fix a lot of my face with bronzer and whatnot. Going in with my Victoria Beckham bronzer and contour. I'm just, should have buffed that out a little bit. Okay, so that was a little too much. This is the shade 03. I'm gonna have to fix that. Oh my goodness. Because it was too much, I'm going to take a finishing brush and buff that out a bit. Okay, even that up here. Quad in a while. This is the NARS. This is called, I don't know, it's always got these weird names. NARS Climax Palette. I roll. I just don't like the names. Not because I'm prude, it's kind of like overdone. And just going into the lightest shade, which looks too light, but for me it does work. It works, ends up being like this very neutral crease shade here. Actually, let me use this mirror because it's more accurate. Okay, now going into this one here. I love this palette and formula. I wish they made more NARS palettes like this formula. I don't feel like they created this formula again. And I did try to like NARS. I really did. This is like the only NARS product I have. I have two NARS products. This palette and then the light reflecting foundation. And that's it. Okay. This is a Sonia G brush. I'm going to take some of this. I hope this isn't dried. I haven't used this in a while. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then I'm flipping the brush over and getting some of the smoky taupe. Ooh, it's really pigmented. And I just want to use that to darken up the V area here. And then anything left, I'm kind of carefully run underneath. It's a little bit sloppy. Okay, and then I'm grabbing this brush from Lotus series. These two matte shades I'm grabbing, just pulling that across here. Okay, and then going back and checking my crease shade, and I like to bring it up a little bit because it helps with my eye shape to use as much as I have up here. Okay, that's all I want to do. All right, I am rushing, so I'm just grabbing my easiest things. This is the SUQQU Melting Powder Blush in Bright Pink. And I believe this is Squirrel Hairbrush from Fluide, Japan. It doesn't have a name or label. I got this on a sale when they had like, I don't know, spend $50 and we'll send you random 3 brushes from our overstock, but they were all beautiful brushes. Okay, so that's that. The new HERMES highlighter, if you will. Just grabbing this, loving it. It's so pretty. And then what I like to do always with highlighters, you can use this as a crease shade or inner corner moment. And I'm just connecting the two and using this underneath as well. Okay, grabbing my SURRAT liner. I cannot live without this liner. This is their liquid liner and my most used liner in my collection. It's a liquid brown, and I've been doing my liquid liner for years. This has got to be the easiest liner, at least for me. It's like a calligraphy pen and it's forgiving. Like, I have lines up there now, and in real life you're seeing me brush. This is me doing my makeup, like for real. Like, this is how fast I have to go and do my makeup. Okay, are they even? They don't look too bad. Okay, and then I want my eyes to be a little bit, open up a little bit. So I'm just taking any random brown and like just the outer third. This is a Wayne Gross pencil brush. There. I need to sharpen this. This is a Jones Road brow pencil, and this is what I grab most of the time because it's so chubby and it covers a lot of area. I have a lot of eyebrow space or bushy eyebrows, so it's never been an issue for me to like draw in my eyebrows. I'm really thankful for that. And so I just have to fill in the bald spots, if you will. Everyone has a little bit of bald spot. So I'm just kind of quickly just going in where there might be some bald spots. What I want to do is just take some of this Chantecaille powder. Okay, I finished. I can't do this on camera. I did Matte Giga Black on the bottom and then YSL Lash Clash on the bottom. Grabbing my HERMES lipstick. This is in Beige Napa, Rouge Napa. Oh, it's more orange than I want. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this Carolina Herrera red lipstick, and actually prefer red. There you go. Hi beauty fam, I just thought I'd hop on. So I just finished being a panelist on for work for something. Anyway, I just want to show you how the makeup is holding up. It is like way glowier than I prefer it. So I'm gonna powder this down in front of you. Okay, I also decided that I didn't like my lipstick. It is too brown, and it's so funny with color theory. I just thought this was more red, and I'm gonna change it. So I'm gonna take this off. I took off that lipstick, and now I have issues here. So what I'm gonna do is actually go back into my Givenchy powder, and I forgot this about, whoops, this trick is that when I have a glowy primer, it can be too glowy. So what I'm actually doing is taking a puff, and this is, for me, the better way to put on powder so it doesn't, throughout the day, it just kind of, I don't know if it bakes. I guess it bakes. I just need my face not to be super oily because I'm not going to touch up so much the rest of the day. And my skin is so dry, at least my scalp. I hate it. Like, it's just a seasonal thing where I literally took a shower yesterday and I have like flaky scalp, and it's just because my skin is so much drier in the winter. So let me put on this lipstick. This is the Nuit Blanche Chanel lipstick in, I want to say 5 o'clock. It's that fuchsia one. And I'm gonna grab a mirror. Here we go. I love this color. I just filmed part 1 of my lipstick declutter, and it will have Chanel and Dior amongst other ones, but the Chanel ones were the hardest to declutter. I don't think I did a very good job. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to do, I actually wanted to see a comparison of this new SUQQU Holiday Palette 101, this beautiful highlighter here. I love this entire palette. I love this highlighter the most out of this entire product. It reminds me so much of the Hourglass powders, and this is the Evil Eye one, the medium one. And what I want to do is compare these two, because on a deeper complexion or lighter, this will definitely be a highlighter, but because of my skin tone, it's not a super obvious highlighter. It could actually be just an illuminating powder. So that's what that looks like. Beautiful design. It almost looks like leaves. That one here. And then let me swatch this one for you. This is, excuse me, the powder in the Hourglass, the medium one, the Evil Eye. So that's SUQQU, and then that is Hourglass. Very similar. So again, SUQQU's up here, and this is the Hourglass. So this one has more pink, and this is more like a yellow undertone, but I've been using, I tried this yesterday and it looked really, really good. Let's see, let's use that as a highlighter. I already have some highlight, the Hermes one, but so pretty. It's pretty, like, it feels like it's like a melty formula, so I could use that as like an all over illuminating powder. See how it just kind of doesn't make me a tin man, but it just adds a little bit of a illumination. And I add a little, and this is very much of a buildable highlighter, this one. So this is my favorite thing out of this palette for sure. And I'm gonna try to do at least one more look with this, because I try not to do first impressions. I end up doing it because I want to get them up on for media content, but I feel like I want to do one more look with this before I post that this weekend. Okay, so this is the finished look. Let me know what you think. I'm glad I changed lipsticks. I feel like this, because I'm wearing such a cool tone outfit, this lipstick, like a blue red, or this is gonna be better. Also, this matches my nail polishes better.